Yo, it's your boy. I'm on a little bit early tonight. Honestly, that's fine. I honestly, I don't want to worry about it. I don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I do this when I feel like doing it. When I feel like doing it, that's when I do it. You know what I'm saying? That's when I do it. Yo, but real quick, man. So today's video, we're gonna be talking about Robert Kiyosaki. Kiyosaki. I think I'm saying his name right. Anyway, you guys remember this dude? Um, Let me see. Where's my mouse? There you go. This guy. Yeah, the dude. He had like the fancy blue glasses and shit. He's super nerdy, always telling you to buy fucking gold and shit. I guess he robbed some people of money. I'm not sure. Here's the Reddit article that I just found on him. Got scammed by Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. All right, so uh, what's this guy's name? Advanced Influence 68. I decided to get on a self-improvement vibe and start reading the popular personal finance. I started with Grant Cardone's 10X, arguably even worse grifter than Kiyosaki's, to be honest, and Rich Dad Poor Dad. I honestly never even finished or even halfway through, I guess, either of them because they just seemed like lots of stuff, lots of telling me that anyone with a brain probably already knows, just in a motivational way. I like the stuff said in Rich Dad Poor Dad well enough that I quickly started watching his radio shows and eventually got pulled into attending this strategy session on the Rich Dad World website. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. I can't even believe what I'm reading right now. Again, can't believe I fell for something this stupid. Literally shameful. Oh man, I feel bad for you, dude. Sorry, Advanced Influence. That ended up being emotional and psychological manipulation to get you to buy his course on something I didn't need. Of course, this is what they sell you, you know. But became convinced I absolutely needed and would change my life. Given how my life is currently going, I was the exact victim they were looking for since I was desperately needed something to change my life. The speaker kept for only $99. For $100, you can buy my course and you'll learn nothing. But you'll change your life. It'll change your life. It will change your life because now you know that you could sell a course on nothing for $100. But it turned out to have in a small print on the invoice 6-month payments of $99. Holy shit, it's $100 a month for 6 months. So it's $600. Oh my god, dude, I'm sorry, bro. Oh my god. It had a money back guarantee for a month, but it conveniently took a month to actually get an answer from customer service, and they play dumb. They won't even cancel the $99 payments over the next 5 months. The course I was sold is absolutely worthless. Holy cow. Oh man, this is crazy. I gotta read the comments after this. I'm just now realizing so many of these personal finance gurus or self-help authors are literally the lowest of the low. They take advantage of people in fucked up situations like me, pretend to want to help them, kicks them in the balls legally, steals the last little bit of money that they have left, and then goes on TV and the radio and complains about the poor running the country with their welfare and homelessness. Oh my gosh, yo. Honestly, there's a lot of it. There's more truth to this than I really want there to be. Oh my god, there's more. There's more, folks. But wait, there's more. I just want to put this out there, so if you want to better your situation in life, don't go trusting grifters. This is a big lesson. I hope that if you're watching this and you've been trying to find self-help on fucking YouTube, dude, there's no self-help. The self-help is you. You gotta solve your situation. You gotta fix your shit. Okay? And it takes learning new skills and making yourself more valuable. And that's the only thing that's going to get you in a job or in a place where you can maybe make some money. Okay? But in any case, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life. And I'm just here to entertain you, and I love you. And thanks for watching so far. Okay, so don't go trusting grifters. We all know that, right? Don't buy these bullshit courses, people's books or courses or whatever they're trying to sell you. I just hope this post keeps someone else from getting swindled by this literal thief. Yeah, honestly, maybe it's my fault for falling for it, but being in a desperately bad financial situation made me vulnerable, of course, to this kind of scam. Now I'm just out of more money, and Kiyosaki says, the rich get richer. Of course. Yeah, of course. Of course. He's rich as fuck. He sold you a book. You know? The rich dad sold you a book, and the poor dad bought the book, and the rich dad sold you a course, and the poor dad bought the course. That's honestly what these courses and books should be about. Oh my god. Okay, so let's talk. Let's moderator announcement. Auto moderator. We'll just skip right over that. I'm sorry that this happened to you. I really do hate those small print of monthly payments, as I find it scummy and very predatory. Of course, I've read the book back then and wasn't impressed with it. I remembered how duped I felt by reading it. I wouldn't recommend this book to anyone. You know what? I don't have the book. I don't think... Oh, yeah, I do have the book. I'll grab the book. Okay? I'm not a personal finance guru, okay, by any means. I'm not even great with money, but I bought these two books, and I haven't really gotten through this one yet. I read the majority of this book. This is The Psychology of Money. I highly recommend this book. This book is great because it teaches you about habits and changing habits and how to treat your money, or how to change your habits around money, your behavior around money. I feel like if people lived more frugally and didn't try to change their life by changing or upgrading their lifestyle so much, that they would probably be better off. Like, honestly, you don't need fancy chains, watches, or shoes. You don't need any of that shit. You probably want some stability in your life and being able to be, like, buy food and not worry about rent or your next check or whatever, right? So stability is what everybody wants. And when you get the bag, you got to know not to fumble the bag, okay, guys? Don't fumble the bag, okay? All right, so let's watch a video on this. There's a video that came out by Micro, Rich Dad, Fraud Dad. I thought this was interesting. That's why I made the topic of the video about Robert, because finding out that so many people have spent money on his course and it sucked, I think we all want answers, Robert. I think we all want to know what the hell's going on. Why are we all still poor? Anyway, let's get started.
Even people who know nothing about personal finance or self-development will have heard of Rich Dad, Poor Dad and its author Robert Kiyosaki. The enigmatic businessman was the original financial influencer, building a huge and loyal audience decades before the internet made it possible for anybody with a webcam and a Robinhood account to grow a following. There are just two problems. His advice was never that good to begin with, and it's only gotten worse over time.
And one of you're currently $600 million in debt.
$1.2 billion.
This seminar was free, but speakers spend most of their time.
Yeah, this is another thing I always thought was weird. He would always talk about taking out debt, and I never really understood it. Like, it's like, I get there's a way around, like, paying taxes. Like, if you sell a big capital, like if you sell a big building or something, it makes a capital event and that's taxable or whatever, right? He always talks about that. It's like, so it makes more sense to like refinance and take out loans and shit, and then use the loans. But it's just like, yeah, I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me either. Like, it's like, you're taking out loans, does that make you that just makes you in debt? That, from what I know,
Time trying to convince us to attend another seminar.
I think it cost us about $15,000.
Yeah, what's up, lovely? Welcome in, dude.
You could say something to Robert.
I'm good. Look, so we're doing Robert Kiyosaki, so I'm not trying to. I'm just talking through
the video. If you're watching a video like this, then there's a very good chance that you have a better understanding of personal finance, business, and the economy than the average person on the street. And even then, it can be hard to find the answers to simple questions that can have a big impact on your livelihood. The lack of financial education, combined with the fact that a lot of personal finance is unnecessarily complicated and jargony, is a great opportunity for people to sell a simple guide on how to fix all your money problems. The problem
Yeah, the only way that you fix all your money problems is by not spending your money, and then like trying to find ways to make and earn more money.
The rich dad sells you the book, the poor dad buys the book.
This is always going to happen. There's always going to be someone out there trying to sell you some bullshit and make you feel like the answer to your problems is inside of their course.
problem with these lessons is that it's impossible to make a book, course, YouTube video, or live seminar that appeals to a wide audience
Yeah, people buy anything. I agree.
simultaneously considering each individual audience member's personal financial situation. It's also really hard to make constructive financial advice marketable because most of the time it's simply boring.
Yeah, nobody.
If you
gives
want to
a
make
shit.
lots of
Nobody
money
wants to
providing
learn.
desperately needed financial education, you have two options. Make something for a niche group of people who you can give tailored, unexciting yet productive advice to, or you could make big, exciting promises that appeal to everyone but don't really consider anyone. Kiyosaki is the king of making extremely basic and often questionable financial advice sound extremely profound to a novice audience.
Just as prior to the Civil War it was illegal to educate a slave, we're not allowed to learn about money in school.
It might sound stupid to you and I, but there's a big audience for it, especially for
So, I honestly think that's a lie. I think that it's true that they don't teach you about money in school, but the reason behind it is more behind that they just never really incorporated it to the curriculum. Like, did he go to prison? I don't know. That's a good question. I'll see if I could pull that up. Is he still alive? I wonder if he is in prison. That'd be hilarious. No, he's not in prison. He's not in prison. He's probably not. He's probably going to get away with this. I mean, like, he's just selling something that people wanted to buy, right? So, and he is going to probably get away with it because he's legally robbing people. He's selling them a product and they bought the product. And it's like a digital thing. Like, of course it can be a digital thing, right? It's like, because he has money to get away with it. Of course he has money to get away with it. He has the lawyers to get away with it.
from those who are down on their luck. Kiyosaki has made millions of dollars over the past 4 decades by selling a personal financial strategy that denigrates a formal education and a stable career while advocating for lots of debt, aggressive investments and entrepreneurship as ways to achieve financial success. Or at least that was his advice before he really went off the rails, but we'll get into that later. Kiyosaki is best known for his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but he is an absolutely prolific author, having published no less than 26 individual books, all related to money, real estate, and personal finance. His first book, while not as successful, perfectly encapsulates how he would go on to sell his own brand of financial advice. It's titled If You Want to Be Rich and Happy, Don't Go to School. And as the name suggests, it outlines how a traditional education is designed to just direct people into getting traditional jobs that will make them miserable and poor.
There is also truth that there's plenty of people that have gone to college that were wildly successful. And the people that had dropped out of college, the reason they dropped out of college was probably because they were already making money. Like, what matters is like how can you impact a company, and do they think that's valuable?
Now, like
Yeah,
all
you
good
need to know
sales pitches,
Robert.
there is an element of truth to this. Wages haven't
Robert-
kept up with rising asset
Robert
prices,
signs
and
off
the
on it.
college degree route has only become more expensive and more competitive since this book was published. But it is conveniently also good at casting a very wide net over a group of people who either never got a college degree, regret getting their college degree, or are considering whether they should get a college degree. The only
I'm
people
the
who
third
won't
guy.
find a book like this compelling are people who went to college and turned that into a successful career. But
Right.
that doesn't matter because those people don't make for good customers anyway. His much
Right,
more
that
successful
makes
book,
sense.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, takes the same lessons and repackages them into a simple narrative with a more intriguing title.
Robert knew I existed, and he knew I was poor.
So he was like, hey, you're going to be a dad, right? So like, because you're going to be a dad, buy my book so you can get rich. And then when you're rich, you could sell your own book about how you bought a book to get rich.
The man has his problems, but he optimized thumbnails and content creation decades before YouTube even existed. So, respect, I guess? Anyway, most of you probably already know the basics of the book if you haven't already read it. He talks about his actual father, his poor dad, who went to school and got a stable job and tried to stay out of debt, to his friend's father, who becomes a mentor and is referred to as his rich dad. According to most investigations into the subject, this rich dad never really existed. Now, most exposés on the topic leave it at that, but to be fair to Robert, the made-up character is hardly the smoking gun people think it is. Even if the rich dad was just a figment of Kiyosaki's imagination used as a stand-in for his own advice, that wouldn't matter if the advice was good. Now, some of the stuff he teaches is so generic that it's really beyond criticism. Don't go into debt to buy dumb stuff, don't spend money you don't have, accumulate assets not liabilities, and keep track of your money.
And that's really the majority of people's issue. All of what he just said. Yes, it is good to question this stuff. Yeah, like it is at the bottom line, right?
That's
it's
all
just
perfectly reasonable, and if that's all you take away from him, that's fine. But that would be like picking up a personal fitness book from an Olympic athlete to read about the health benefits of drinking water. It's not
hilarious.
Wrong, but it's not what the book sells, and
That's
that's
an
when his
amazing
lessons
example,
can really hurt people. The most dangerous aspect of Kiyosaki's teachings is how much he advocates for using debt, going so far as to say you can never get rich if you don't master the art of using other people's money. Utilizing leverage to buy a house or even investments can generate huge returns if you really know what you're doing and have the facilities in place to manage the risk.
But does he actually sell you that information?
It also increases the risk. And if you take on debt at the wrong time, it can put your financial life back decades, like it would have if you attended his real estate investment seminars in 2007, months before the global financial crisis.
Forever, dude.
If that wasn't bad enough, he also teaches something called cash flow quadrant, which outlines the different ways people can produce an income. There are employees and self-employed people, the suckers, and then there are investors and business owners, the winners. According to his books, the difference between a self-employed person and a business owner is that the self-employed person needs to work in their own business to keep it running, whereas a business owner can step away from their business at any time and leave it to employees to handle everything without them. In addition to leveraging other people's money, Kiyosaki refers to this as using other people's time. This means that any profit from the business is passive income, which is obviously great, but it's incredibly hard for most businesses to get to the scale where they can offload all operations to hired staff while still generating enough profit. For Robert, this didn't matter because countless investigations into his backstory have all found the same thing. He got rich by selling books on how to get rich, not by following the advice in those books. Today, Kiyosaki is a very wealthy man, and he's since made a lot of investments into real estate and reportedly taken on a scary amount of debt. But that is all a lot easier and safer to do when there are millions of dollars coming in from book sales every year. Now, the thing with this strategy is that it will work for some people, and those people are far more likely to go and publicly sing the praises of Kiyosaki and his teachings than people who levered up on a rental property in 2007 and went bankrupt when the market turned against them. People that end up in situations like that are embarrassed and tend to keep quiet even if the lessons are far more valuable than someone who just got lucky on a risky bet. Now, even that wouldn't be worth making a video about. Person becomes rich by giving out questionable, untailored financial advice and then uses that wealth to justify their strategies. That's basically half the internet at this point.
Also, I heard it was good to own stuff, house, building, stores. I mean, yeah, it is good to own stuff. Like, having real estate is a great financial strategy, especially like if you're using them as piggy banks to kind of store your money. It's like a store of wealth, right? Maybe you can compare that to Bitcoin or gold. These are just commodities, though, right? So, yeah, people who have money. It takes a lot of money to buy anything.
Kiyosaki's lesser-known books is probably the one that's done the most damage, and it's called The Business of the 21st Century. In it, he makes the same points about moving away from a role where you're working for money and trying to build up investments and businesses that generate passive income. But the problem is that starting a business is hard, and even if the average person had enough money to open a business for themselves, most fail. The solution that Kiyosaki pitches in the book is to avoid traditional businesses and instead start a network marketing business instead. If you don't know, network marketing, multi-level marketing, and direct...
Don't go start a coffee shop. Start a pyramid scheme.
He really says that?
selling are all corporate euphemisms for businesses like Herbalife, Amway, Avon, and USANA. I'm sure by
Herbalife,
now
dude.
you know what these companies
Everybody
are.
knows about
But if you
Herbalife.
don't, just think of them as pyramid schemes that are just legal thanks to some clever loopholes. Those businesses all have terrible track records of
Herbalife
making
again.
money from their members through ridiculously overpriced products. The only thing that keeps people coming back to buy more is the dream that companies sell of making millions of dollars by roping more people into the scheme.
Yo, so many people fell into this shit, and I was just like, yo. I remember working out one day and this guy in the gym trying to sell it to me, and I was just like, I get like all of the nutrition I need from like just eating normal food. It's like, what the fuck? And then like, how many people fell for this shit? I'm just like, and then I would see like people selling this shit and actually making a load of money, and I'm just like, the fucking people are just selling fantasies out here. Like, yo, buy Herbalife, you're gonna get fit, you're gonna be ripped.
And becoming an elite member at the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, at least they got
In
the
his
money. That's
book,
all about that
Kiyosaki
money,
says
dude.
he isn't directly
Hustle.
involved in
Respect
any
the
particular
hustle.
company, but that's actually a genius move on his part. This book is given out as almost required reading to any new people entering the bottom of the pyramid through these companies. The Rich Dad Poor Dad brand adds an element of legitimacy to a business that people have become very wary of, and by not claiming direct involvement in any particular business, Kiyosaki can sell the book to Amway distributors just as easily as Herbalife distributors. That's where the money actually is in these businesses. According to mandatory disclosures, even
The money is in desperate poor people. That is where the money is. If you're desperate and you're poor, they're going to try and make you a victim because they know that you're desperate and poor. They will try and make it so that they'll wait until your situation is so bad that you need to do it. They win because no one is forcing anyone to buy anything. They will buy it from their free will. So they don't have any good cost. Yeah, it's true. It's like you're going to go buy this because you're desperate, and you become a victim of this problem. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll say it again.
The rich dad sells the poor dad the course. The poor dad buys the course from the rich dad.
people in the top percentile of these companies makes very little money from the bonus structure itself, certainly not enough to live the lavish lifestyle they show off to new recruits. The real money comes from selling books, CDs, and tickets to seminars that promise the secrets to unlocking wealth by running a multi-level marketing company. It's a grift inside a grift, and Kiyosaki has put his hat right in the middle of the scheme with his book. The ubiquity of this book amongst multi-level marketing pundits also means that he can charge a lot of money in speaking fees at the conferences these companies hold.
So when people say network marketing is a Ponzi or a pyramid scheme, they don't know what they're talking about. Corporate America is a pyramid scheme. It goes like this.
Having arguably the most famous financial guru in the world telling a room full of people they're suckers for having a stable job is a great way to get people to sign up to
It does make you feel.
out of the
It
back
does
of their
make you
cup.
feel like you're like living in the Matrix. Like this dude's coming out, red pilling everybody. Like, yeah.
You working a 9 to 5? That's for fucking poor people.
Kiyosaki's business strategy of casting a wide net with his books and then profiting off specific groups doesn't just work on the MLM crowd. In addition to seminars on real estate, which is arguably what he's best known for, he's also started claiming to be an expert on cryptocurrency, precious metals, and dropshipping.
He's just full of shit. We've all know that by now, but he's just full of shit. He claims to be an expert in all this shit because, he's Robert Kiyosaki. He's rich. You should listen to him. You're poor.
Basically, if there's market for selling advice on sketchy
Fucking
businesses
stupid,
with
dude.
the promises of riches, Kiyosaki will be there with a seminar to sell. Now, just for a bit
yeah.
of fun, it's worth looking at the absolutely wild ways in which he tries to build authority in these spaces. When a market
I'm not really that interested. So, like, I do these. So this is how, like, welcome to my stream, okay? So this is how I kind of roll, okay? I like to do a little bit of YouTube, just chill, get into the vibes, and then I'm going to get into some gaming here in a little bit. We're going to play some Marvel Rivals. And I do like this fun little thing at the beginning of my videos. You know what? Let's just launch Marvel Rivals. We've had a... Hey, if you made it this far into the video real quick, I just want to let you know that I actually do play games here. And right now I'm playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. You can catch me on Twitch live Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like and subscribe if you like this content, and follow me on Twitch for more. You can also follow me on X and join my Discord. It is on the Twitch dashboard. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.